President Trump and Judge Jeanine take a jab at Attorney General Sessions. The Absent AG by Jim Hoft for thegatewaypundit.com. President Donald Trump joined Judge Jeanine Piro on Saturday night by phone. What he and Judge Jeanine didn't say is the hottest news item in the incredibly newsworthy interview. President Trump started off the interview discussing the Democrat Nothing Burger memo that was released on Saturday. As noted last night by the Gateway Pundit, then President Trump blasted Democrat Adam Schiff, accusing him of illegal activity. President Donald Trump, well, all you do is you see this Adam Schiff, he has a meeting and he leaves the meeting and he calls up reporters, and all of a sudden they have news, and you're not supposed to do that, and it's probably illegal to do it. You know, he'll have a committee meeting and he'll leak all sorts of information. You know, he's a bad guy. But the kicker in the entire interview is what President Trump and Judge Jeanine didn't say. President Trump, a lot of bad things happened on the other side, not on this side, but on the other side. And someone should look into it, because what they did is really fraudulent, and somebody should be looking into that. And by somebody, I'm talking about you know who. Judge Jeanine, I have a feeling I know who it is, Mr. President. Both the President and Judge Jeanine were referring to Attorney General Jeff Sessions, of course. AG Sessions has been missing in action his entire time overseeing the Justice Department for the U.S. government. He recused himself from anything Russia and has done nothing to bring justice to the individuals involved in the Obama-Clinton administration who committed numerous crimes. He is responsible for the sham Mueller investigation. Hillary's email investigation was an entire fraud. The players in the investigation who committed criminal acts by lying to the FISA court, hiding information, destroying information, and more, are still employed and being paid by U.S. taxpayers. The DOJ and FBI continue to stall and refuse to cooperate with the congressional oversight investigations, and when they finally do, they redact so much that the information is illegible. In November, we at the Gateway Pundit referred to AG Sessions as the greatest traitor to our country since Benedict Arnold. Looks like the President and Judge Jeanine agree. Well, we could take a quick listen here.
Breaking tonight, President Trump just seconds away from joining me for a live interview. Plus, the Democrats' FISA Republic memo is released. But is it a blockbuster or a dud? Hello and welcome to Justice. I'm Jeanine Piro. Thanks for being with us, and thanks again for making Justice #1 in prime time last Saturday. And joining me now by phone, the President of the United States, Donald Trump. Good evening, Mr. President.
Good evening.
Well, first of all, let me say that we are delighted to have you on Justice tonight, and there is so much breaking news now. The Democrat memo just came out, and of course, you called the memo a legal bust on Twitter today, and you called Adam Schiff a phony. So, what do you take exception to in the memo?
Well, all you do is you see this Adam Schiff, he has a meeting, and he leaves the meeting, and he calls up reporters, and then all of a sudden they have news, and you're not supposed to do that. It's probably illegal to do it. You know, he'll have a committee meeting, and he'll leak all sorts of information. You know, he's a bad guy. But it's certainly, the memo was a nothing. It confirmed, basically, if you look at it, it confirmed. I watched Miss Hurd, who was fantastic, on your show just before, and And I will tell you, that was really just a confirmation of, if you call it the Republican memo or the Nunes memo, it's referred to as a lot of things, but that was nothing but a confirmation. And a lot of bad things happened on the other side, not on this side, but on the other side.
And you know what's
somebody
interesting?
should look into it, because what they did is really fraudulent, and somebody should be looking into that. And by somebody, I'm talking about you-know-who.
I have a feeling I know who it is, Mr. President. Look, one of the things that I thought was interesting is here we've got the Democrat memo, and thank you for complimenting Catherine Herridge. She's right next to me. She'll be on in a moment. We love Catherine Herridge. But for
she's able to really take, Jeanine, she's able to take a very complex document and very systematically, essentially say the truth.
Well, she drills
that
it
document
down.
was it really verifies, and a lot of bad things in that document. That document really verifies the Nunes memo. And that's why they didn't push hard to have it. If you notice, they did not push it hard because they understood this was going to happen. And just in looking around and seeing reports, a lot of people are saying that. That's a very bad document for their side.
Well, in addition to that, Mr. President, after 18 months, not any kind of reference to any collusion. But I have to tell you that Adam Schiff just
by the way, that
tweeted.
is true, Jeanine. You have all these committees. Everybody's looking. There is no collusion. No phone calls. I had no phone calls. No meetings. No nothing. There is no collusion. I say it all the time. Anybody that asks, there's no collusion. I don't want to sound braggadocious. I was a far better candidate. She was not a good candidate. She went to the wrong states. She didn't go to Michigan enough. She didn't go to Wisconsin at all. She didn't do a good job in North Carolina. She did a poor job in Ohio and a poor job in Pennsylvania. And you could also add Florida into the mix. And, frankly, that's what it was all about. There was nothing to do with Russians.
Well, clearly, I think all the evidence points to that. But Adam Schiff has just seconds ago tweeted, wait a minute, Mr. President, am I a phony or sleazy, a monster or little? Surely you know the key to a good playground nickname is consistency. I thought you were supposed to be good at this. I guess you got him in the gut there. What do you say to that, Mr. President?
Well, I say sort of all of those. But look, he was just, we need intelligence that brings our nation together. And a lot of people are tearing our nation apart on this and other subjects. They're tearing our nation apart. And I have to tell you, every time the folks over in Moscow, the Russians, as he likes to call them, every time they watch, every time they see him and others get on and do what they did, he got scammed by somebody pretending to be a Russian. And your Senator Warner got scammed also. Now, it's okay for them to be dealing, but if we have any kind of a contact with anybody, even though it has nothing to do with anything important, it's a big deal. But if you look at Senator Warner, he got scammed. And if you look at Adam Schiff last week, 2 weeks ago, he got scammed by somebody that was fine that he spoke to this person. Thought he was a Russian, but it didn't work out that way. He wasn't a Russian. So we have to bring the country together, Jeanine, and what's happening is this and other things are ripping it apart, and it's been this way for a long time. This isn't just over the last year when I've been here. It was terrible during the Obama administration, and by the way, I have to say, Obama was the president during all of this meddling, or whatever you want to call it, with Russians and others, possibly. But Obama was the president. He's the one that was supposed to take care of this. And he didn't. Nobody brings that up. He was warned, and he didn't, which makes it even worse. But he was the president during this period of time, during the entire period of time, and he did nothing about it. So somebody should bring it. Now, I have to say, a lot of the fair people, and people, frankly, that love my administration, they bring it up all the time. But Obama was the president. He did nothing about it. With all of that being said, we have to come together as a nation, and we have to get it done. A lot of great things are happening. Our economy is incredible. I'm renegotiating trade deals. There are no trade deals ever negotiated that have been bad like the trade deals that we've had negotiated, whether it's NAFTA, the deal with South Korea, TPP, I was able to keep us out of it. That would have been a total disaster. World Trade Organization deal, that's what really led to the emergence of China. You look at China, they became rich when they made the World Trade deal, the World Trade Organization, WTO. We have to change it. We can't allow our workers, our country, our companies to be ripped off like this, and they understand that, and that's why they're starting to move back into the United States. Chrysler's coming back, Foxconn is coming in, the big company that makes the Apple, different things for Apple, some of the biggest companies in the world. They're coming back into our country now because of what I'm doing. But we have to come together, Jeanine, as a nation. And we shouldn't be fighting like this. We should all be on the same team. That includes Adam Schiff.
Right.
We should all be on the same
Adam
team.
Schiff.
They shouldn't have two sides fighting all the time.
He won't let it get a word in edgewise.
We should all come together as a nation. With that being said, I have to just add one thing. Congressman Nunes, if this continues to go forward, I really think someday he's going to be greatly honored for his service and for what he's done. He's been very brave in the face of a lot of obstacles. What he's found out has been incredible. I give him tremendous credit. But I have to say this, we have to come together as a nation.
You know, Mr. President, your approval rating is soaring. And, you know, we can talk about the economy and the low unemployment and the stock market and all of the great things that have been happening with the economy. But you have accomplished all of this. And by the way, there's a poll that puts you at 50%. At CPAC, you're at 93% approval rating. You did all this in 1 year with the economy. To what do you attribute these incredible advances?
Well, I think that I've had a lot of good ideas and I have a lot of energy. I get things done. I mean, I'm very proud of what's happened with the economy. If they would have gone in the other direction, they would not have gotten rid of regulations. I really believe that while the tax cuts are the biggest ever, there has been no bill like that passed, including Anwar and including getting rid of the individual mandate, which is the worst thing going on Obamacare, and healthcare is starting to really come along now well. You're going to see premiums start to drop. But with all of that being said, I think regulation, the cutting of regulations is what has given us this, because, you know, as you know, the tax cuts just happened a fairly short while ago. I've been cutting regulations now for over a year, substantially. Only unnecessary regulations, but you couldn't build, you couldn't do anything. Look at the pipelines. If you look at the Keystone Pipeline, if you look at the Dakota Access Pipeline, Jeanine, 48,000 jobs, they were dead. And I approved them right at the beginning of my administration. And environmentally superior, because you're underground as opposed to trucking and all of the things that you have to do to get the product to the various coasts and to where it's going, to the refineries. So,
Mr. President,
it's been an incredible period. And I was saying before, and somebody was very readily agreeing with me, I don't think any administration has done as much as we've done in the first year. I don't think it's even close. Between the taxes, the regulations, Justice Gorsuch, many district judges, many Court of Appeals judges, and many more to go. We have great judges, you know, literally just waiting. We have a tremendous problem with Senator Schumer where he's not approving people that are working in the administration. It's unprecedented. We have hundreds of people that have taken so long to get approved, and we have people still waiting to get approved in the trade groups and very important groups, Jeanine. The Democrats, I mean, the one thing they're incredible at is obstruction. The one thing they're incredible at, you know, they use it, they resist. And they really, it's just bad for the country. So hopefully that can get done, and hopefully we can get DACA done. I'd like to do that for the Hispanics out there. You know, I did very well with the Hispanics, much better than anyone would have thought. I'm the one that's pushing DACA, and the Democrats are nowhere to be found.
Well, what's amazing is that, they continue to try to promote their narrative. But I want to ask you something you talked about at CPAC yesterday that was very well received, and that has to do with in the wake of the Parkland, Florida school shooting. And you talked about expanding background checks on guns.
Right.
Well, he didn't let her get a word in edgewise, but we know Attorney General Sessions is nowhere to be found. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And again, thank you so much for watching.